Welcome to
The Sky Podcast.
Exclusive on Spotify.
Hidden do.
Okay, guys, letters from the sky. Our first letter writer is Adrian, and he said, "Hi, Sky Fam. I'm 19 years old, and I want to start a business, and I want to make it big. I educate myself with all these business advice, and I'm over-consuming YouTube videos about entrepreneurship. I really just don't know why the hell I can't even have the courage to start. I think it's fear of judgment because I'm living with my relatives. Should I move out? By the way, I'm working with a pretty competitive salary, but I just got terminated yesterday. Is this a sign to start my own business?"
I actually was the one to tell you na ito yung gagamitin natin na letter for this.
You chose our letter for today.
Yes, because usually it's you that
Yes.
chose it. That one I can relate to so much because when I first started thinking about starting my own business and like doing my own thing apart from the family business na sinabi ko yung dad ko na I want to do my own thing. I don't want to be a part of the family business. I was like that. Ang dami kong binasa, ang dami kong puro, and it kind of is like all in your head. You kind of know everything. You kind of know the academics of it. But nothing can prepare you for the real thing.
It's like theory versus actual life
Yes.
experience.
It's taking that first irrevocable step. And this was from a book called How to Get Rich. It's so funny. The title of the book is so straightforward, but it's written by Felix Dennis, who's a multimillionaire or billionaire, passed away already. But I like to read books that come from ganitong mga tao, like real life experience people.
Yes.
In YouTube, you can consume a lot of things, and there are a lot of good ones, and there are a lot of theoretical ones that sound nice. There are a lot of advice wherein, let's say, for example, somebody told you, just be confident. It sounds like a good advice, but parang hindi mo masusunod. It's not executable. So at the end of the day, it's all about execution. What I realized when I was starting my business is it's that confidence to take that step. You have to do it. You have to try and fail, and you have to not care about the outcome muna.
I think before that,
Yeah.
we need to know that, it may seem glamorous or easy to start a business,
Yeah,
but
very
you
hard.
also have to put your mind in it that
Yeah.
once you start a business, it's not easy at all, and it's 24 hours of thinking if your business will work. It's more stress than if you're working a 9 to 5
Yeah.
job. There's so many aspects to it.
Yes.
You have to think about the accounting, HR. You have to think about
Yes.
taxes and logistics and all of these things. It's not just about buy and sell or like producing something and then that's it.
Yes.
So kind of before, because sometimes it's glamorized. Like when we look at YouTube videos and it's listicles like, oh, why you should start a business right now, or 5 tips to be a successful entrepreneur.
And parang nagiging cool kasi yung pagiging entrepreneur.
Yeah, you have your own time and stuff like that.
I think it's more of the social media aspect is trying, like parang nagiging in to be an entrepreneur. So you see a lot of profiles na parang, Slater Young, entrepreneur. Parang ganyan. Like, a lot of people, like parang basta malagay lang na entrepreneur. Parang ganyan. So, yes, there are a lot of aspects to business. I wouldn't worry about that, to be honest. If I were to give Scott advice, there's something called a minimum viable product. And it's basically just saying, make it as small as possible and as bite-sized as possible for you. Kasi you don't have to know all these things right away. You just have to take that first step. Diba sabi nila, how do you eat an elephant? Alam mo yun?
No.
One bite at a time. Diba? So parang, you mentioned you have to do accounting, you have to do marketing, you have to do all these things. My thing would be, just do the first thing that you need to get started. What is your product? What is the website that you want? So you start from there. And then you're gonna realize, oh, I need to hire someone. Then you learn about payroll when you get there.
Yeah.
And then, oh, I need to now manage a lot of people. Well, you start reading management books. Because if you read it right now, you will never ever absorb the
Every
concept.
single thing.
Yes.
But kasi sabi ng letter sender natin na he just got terminated from a very high-paying job.
Yes.
So sign ba daw yun to start his own business? I just think kasi that sometimes it's over-glamorized or people don't know really what's behind starting your own business.
Yes.
Because it seems cool and it seems easy and it seems like, okay, if your product flies, you're sold.
Yeah.
You're gold. Sorry, not sold. You're gold.
Yeah.
But behind that is a lot of work.
Yes.
So yes, we can cross the bridge when we get there, but sometimes you have to ask ourselves also, kaya ba natin i-cross yung bridge? Baka when we
Yes.
get there, give up na tayo. Diba?
Just minimize everything, especially like you're 19. You have all the time in the world to gain all this experience.
Yeah, and to learn.
And to learn. And the good thing about having these access to all the information in the world is that you get to experiment. What you'll slowly realize is not everything works. And especially not everything works for the Philippines.
Yeah.
A lot of the theories out there are nice sa aspect of like a first world country, which most of these informations are. And then you have to like weave your way on how to evolve it towards a more Philippine setting.
Yeah. For example, I also tried to start a business before. A very, very small one, like online lang. It was called February Bags. And I think a lot of people are asking,
What
have
happened?
asked me like what happened. But I stopped it because I think in the pandemic, it was just not feasible anymore. Because at first, I had this dream for where I wanted the company to go. And then in my head, it's just if I design a nice product that I will like using,
Yeah.
I think a lot of other girls will like using this product too.
Yeah.
But when I finally got in it, I'm like, I had to deal with suppliers, I had to deal with
Yes.
production materials,
Yes.
timelines, and all of these things. I had to deal with commissions from the big chains that would carry my product, and they had their own rules, and I had my own timeline. It was just so complicated. And at the end of the day, I realized it wasn't worth my time. And I know that you are dealing with this on an even larger scale, like times 100
Yes.
scale, because you have a production company, you have a plant, right? So it's just, I'm not trying to discourage you, but
Be ready for it.
be ready for it, because I just thought it was as easy as, okay, I'll design something and then I'll wing it and then we'll cross the bridge when we get there. And when we crossed the bridge, I was not happy. I was not a happy Chris.
What
Yeah.
you'll slowly realize is a lot of the things that you're doing is things that you don't actually like to do, but you have to do anyways.
Exactly.
Which is the most important thing.
You
Like,
have
for
to read so
example,
many papers, contracts,
Yes.
government things. Parang, ang gusto ko lang mag-design at magbenta.
Yes, exactly.
Oo.
So in that case, it would have been suitable for Chris to just be a designer.
Yes.
Instead of like running all these things. She didn't like managing a
I
lot
had to
of
go
people.
to the super layo to our suppliers pa. Tapos,
Yes.
for example, December yon. So, kailangan yung bags ko ready na by this time. When I went there, yung mga suppliers ko, gusto ko pa yung mga suppliers ko is parang may initiative tayo. So, it's helping the women of this tribe, ganyan.
And not everybody can relate to that.
Yeah, and so I'm just making it more complicated. But I don't want to buy from China. Gusto ko like local and then helping women, ganyan. Pagdating ko doon, they can't produce at this certain deadline because they have to wash the dishes, they have to take care of their kids. Ang daming mga small things na, hoy, I didn't sign up for this.
Oh, there were times that you were crying.
Yeah, I'm like, I can't do this
You
anymore.
were crying
like,
and saying to me, like, parang,
there's an easy
can't
way
take
out.
this anymore. Yeah,
I should
parang-
just source from abroad and just sell it here and just don't care.
oh, kasi palagi ko sinasabi sa kanya, just be more practical. Just make it scalable. Make it, it's to unload the work from you.
Yeah, but I'm like, no, it has to mean something. It has to
Yeah.
have a CSR aspect.
I mean, it's nice, but it has to work in the context of the business surviving.
Yes, and also kailangan you as an entrepreneur know na mabigat talaga ang trabaho ng pagiging entrepreneur.
Yes.
Mabigat
Iba
talaga.
siya. Kasi dati, when you're working, you're just focused on one thing.
Yes.
Now, you have to touch a lot of different things. It's good that you're 19. I wish I would have
Started.
started and have all these access to all these wonderful information when I first started. Sa self-help industry kasi parang, oh, you have to do it. You listen to like yung motivational speeches sa internet. Sometimes it's very fluffy. Looking back at it now, it's like, seems so fluffy and impractical. Parang may tao na nag-workout or na nag-jogging and then there's like motivational speech in the background. Like parang, yes, it's nice, but motivation can only get you so far. It's like the day-to-day habit of actually doing the work, putting the work in. So parang, di ba, we all have bursts of motivation to work out. But the ones that succeed are, hindi nila kailangan ng motivation. They're always there. They're
Right.
always on point. And sa book na yun, sinasabi niya, there's a very big difference between wanting something or desiring something versus you're actually compelled to do it.
Yeah.
Yung parang hindi mo mapigilan but to actually do it. Yung You have no other choice, but every single fiber in my body speaks to me that I want to do this. It's not a one-time thing. It's not a thing that I'm just going to dabble into and see where it takes me. It's parang,
I need to do it.
I need to be
Yeah.
able to do it. And that's, I feel, a mindset of anyone, not just in entrepreneurship, but in general, if you want to succeed at something, ito yung kailangan. Entrepreneurship wherein ikaw yung wanting to be the head of something, you have the crappiest job, to be perfectly honest. It seems nice because you get to make all these decisions, you get to boss people around. At the end of the day, Elon Musk to na quote, you are the shit filter. Meaning, lahat ng mga problema, papunta yun sa'yo.
If you guys want to hear the full episode, you can.
Check us out on Spotify.
Spotify.
It's free, guys. It's free.
See you there.
Skypodcast.
Skypodcast.